Hi, I'm Natalia from Writer, and today I want to show you a competitive intelligence agent that I built on the Writer platform. I'm curious, when something changes in your competitive landscape, how does your team typically learn about it? And once you know, how do you ensure everyone is analyzing it through the same strategic lens? What we notice here at Writer is that most of our clients' teams handle it in one of two ways today. One is they have a team of folks who are in charge of competitive strategy. And this team does the manual work week in and week out of reviewing competitor sites, news, social media, which is effective, but it's time intensive and contingent on that team doing that work consistently and regularly. The second way is teams have tried to build automated workflows around this type of work using available tools, but those tools tend to be quite fragile today. The moment a competitor redesigns their pricing page, or you want to add a new competitor to monitor, the whole process needs to be redesigned. What I want to show you today is a different approach, one that's less about documenting the exact steps in your competitive research workflow and more about defining the outcome you or your team is trying to achieve. So what we're going to do, define what success looks like, and in this case, it's consistent competitive intelligence that's analyzed through a strategic framework. And then we're going to let Writer Agent figure out the best way to get there. The benefit of this approach is its adaptation. When things change, and they will, the outcome stays consistent even though the mechanics might adjust. So let's dive in and build this agent, and let's use Whoop as an example. Imagine you're a member of the strategy team at Whoop. Watch what happens when I describe the outcome that I'm looking to achieve in natural language. Monitor Whoop's top 3 competitors, let's say Oura Ring, Garmin, and Apple Watch, for marketing activities, pricing changes, and product announcements. Deliver a weekly dashboard with competitive insights and strategic recommendations grounded in Whoop's competitive positioning framework. Notice that I'm not mapping out steps. I'm not saying first do this, then do that. I'm describing the end state, what I want to achieve consistently. Now, here's the important part. I'm going to attach a synthetically generated competitive strategy framework for Whoop. You can see it right here. The document contains Whoop's positioning, primary competitors, key differentiation against those competitors, and then strategic priorities, key messaging, target segments, etc. Basically, how Whoop thinks about their competitive landscape. So the platform has access to various tools: web search, browser automation, data outputs. I'm not wiring these together in a specific sequence. The platform will determine the best approach based on what it needs to achieve. So I uploaded that document and created a knowledge graph. A knowledge graph is basically the way the Writer platform can tap into all of your organization's proprietary data and insights that you want to be incorporated into whatever AI native workflow or process you're creating with Writer Agent. And as part of this, I can do things like layer in rules, like always compare against these 3 competitors, or flag pricing changes as a high priority. I'm going to transform this into a playbook and run it. And before anything runs, I can preview how Writer plans to approach the objective and outcome that I've described to it. This is what we call Writer's glass box approach, not black box approach. You can see its plan, you can see it executing that plan, and you can intervene as needed if you feel the direction needs to be adjusted or course corrected. You can collaborate directly with the Writer agent in real time, providing it additional guidance or instructions as needed. Okay, so the agent has completed its task. Let's take a look at what it produced for us. Here's the competitive intelligence dashboard we asked for. It has an executive summary up top with an overview of each of the competitors we specified and their current market positioning. It points out what Whoop's differentiation is against each of these three competitors, pointing out key battleground areas for our product against theirs. It provides a competitive pricing analysis and Whoop's competitive pricing advantages against each competitor, a feature comparison matrix, and it points out high priority areas for increased competitive positioning against those competitors. And the great thing about this is we can turn it into a routine and specify that it runs, let's say, every Monday morning, equipping your team with real-time competitive insights that you can action on right away.